Well, March the 22nd here in Atlanta, Georgia, Sakari, we're doing it big if it be the will of the Lord. And we're doing it to celebrate and to commemorate Yahweh and his great mercies and salvation, and look forward to the salvation coming through his only begotten Son, who the world calls Christ, Yahweh Shai. Right, we're doing it again here in Atlanta, Georgia, March the 22nd. If you are not a member of Sakari, there are only a few ways to get your invitation and be enabled to purchase a ticket. And that's if you're enrolled in Sakari Varsity, you're actively a prospect for Sakari, or if you're a subscriber to CZYN.network. Get over to CZYN.network, subscribe now, use promo code Deacon Sakari. You'll save on your subscription, and you will be enabled to follow the instructions and receive the invitation on how to obtain your ticket for Passover, March the 22nd. We're also doing a full slate of events for that weekend. The next day, a special presentation to commemorate our 1-year anniversary of my debate with Dr. Michael Brown. Right, we're doing it. It's called The Truth About the Jews and the Slave Trade. Right, me and Assad will be doing it. Powerful. And then we will also be doing a breakdown on the truth about the 2/3. At the Passover, before we get into the ceremony, Lord willing, I'll be doing a presentation on the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Right, so that's what you're getting at the price of your admission for your Passover ticket, as well as an all-you-can-eat buffet. Always going down something major. You can get your VIP upgrade, get your own personal waitress there. I'm telling y'all, man, it's going down in a big and a major way. We're going to have performances, photo ops. It's going down. And the venue is beautiful. It's immaculate. It's top tier. It's going down again. That's Friday, March the 22nd. March the 23rd, again, we'll have a venue where we'll be doing those special presentations. And then March the 24th, we're going to be doing the same thing. We'll be having a Sabbath service to bring in the Feast of Unleavened Bread, right? So it's going down again in a major way through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Get over to urbangrow.com. Get over to CZYN.network, man. Come function with us, man. It's going down.
All right, Shalom Israel. I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rekakwadash, Yahweh who the world ignorantly calls God, Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, and there is no God beside them. I want to give double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone for being faithful witnesses to the Holy Spirit, and salutations to the elect whom the Lord have given ears to hear. And I want to entitle this lesson, Will You Be the Reason the Lord Becomes Unusually Mad? Right? And of course, this is why I played the priest Alazar's or the video, the elder brother Yahweh Cunnan out there from the UK had uploaded this guy priest Alazar, which is the leader of Sakari, and his promotion of his Passover. All right. Now, for you newcomers, those that may come across this lesson, you must know that that's not of the Lord Yahweh Shai, which as it is written, be ye perfect, even as I am perfect. Now, when you go into the Yahweh Shai's Passover, he had it in a man's attic, and it was just between him and the 12. Right? Right. So, again, as I mentioned, when we look at Yahweh Shai's Passover was in a man's attic, in which it was just him and the 12. And then we go into the law. The law tells us what? That we are to take a lamb of the first year without blemish, and that lamb must be enough to sustain a man in his household. Not a whole village, a man in his household. Furthermore, we know that the Passover is a solemn assembly, one that is ate in haste, right? And the fear of, pretty much doing what we have to do so we can get out of Egypt. The Passover was a very solemn, very scary day, as the word Passover denotes the Lord passing over those who had the blood of the lamb on their doorposts, which, if you understand the scriptures, through the spirit, that lamb represents Yahweh Shai. All right. And the blood is essentially the word, right? Nevertheless, we also do commemorate the physical aspect, the eating of the lamb, all right, the eating of unleavened bread, the eating of bitter herbs, all right, because as that's a commandment, from the Lord Yahweh down to our forefather Moses. Nevertheless, the title of this lesson came by way of, this something I said in camp through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, to where there was a time that I'm specifically thinking of, to where Yahweh Shai acted unusually angry, right? And I will grab that. This is the book of John, chapter 2, and verse 13. And after the Jews' Passover was at hand, and Yahweh Shai went up to Jerusalem, and found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves, and the changers of money sitting, right? And it goes to show you that is like a spirit around the Passover with guys, which I'm guessing because, also in the scriptures speak about how 3 times in a year we were to go to the Holy Land, to Jerusalem. One of those times would be the Passover, around the Passover, so I guess, it seems like these guys, or it seems like that's the spirit, to utilize that time to get rich. Nevertheless, it says, I'll read it from the top again. And the Jews' Passover was at hand, and Yahweh Shai went up to Jerusalem, and found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves, and the changers of money sitting. And when he had made a scourge of small cords, he drove them all out of the temple, and the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the changers of money, and overthrew the tables, and said unto them that sold doves, Take these things hence, make not my father's house an house of merchandise. So as we read, we see that Yahweh Shai was very, very, very pissed off. Read it again. And when he had made a scourge of small cords, he drove them all out of the temple, and the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the changers of money, and overthrew the tables. So essentially, he destroyed the temples, all right, after that which he had saw these men do. Which, as we read on, and his disciples remembered that it was written, The zeal of thine house hath eaten me up. Now we go into the word zeal. In St. John 2, that Greek translation would be zelos or zelos. Excitement of mind, ardor, fervor of spirit. The fierceness, let's read through. Zeal, ardor, and embracing, pursuing, defending anything, zeal in the behalf of, for a person or thing, the fierceness of indignation, punitive zeal, and envious and contentious rivalry, jealousy. Now I looked up the word ardor because I did not know, what that meant. And the word ardor means enthusiasm. I believe that says ardor. All right. It means fervor, zeal, eagerness, vehemency, intensity. Right. So that invoked, an intense anger. It says hot-bloodedness. Right. That invokes something in Yahweh Shai to make him basically you know, in Jake terms, go crazy on these niggas. It says, that's pretty much it. Passion, fervor, zeal, right? Energy, fire, fervent or passion, emotion or enthusiasm, right? Which in other words, right, goes into I got some other, as you would call synonyms for that word. So I just looked up, what is another word to be unusually mad? If you are extremely angry, if you are what? You know, as Jake say, I'm hot, I'm on fire. You know, that nigga had me hot. You know, Jake slang. If you are extremely angry, you can say you are furious, irate, incensed, or livid. Right? So, you know, what the elder Yashawamba said was on point.
Going down.
It says they will lose badly when it's all said and done. And he said it's going down. Well, shit, we don't know. You know, the Lord may do something real hectic on that day. You know, whatever the Lord's going to do, best believe those guys is in the way of judgment if they do decide to go on with that, you know, and all these guys that push, you know, the Tazariaks, the ISUPKs, the IUIC, the Lord is going to make a public example out of all of those that are not right. You know, and they come up against the men of Great Millstone for essentially defending the scriptures. If we're all, you know, if we all supposedly have one agenda, you know, why do you come up against us for defending the scriptures? They must have another agenda. Right? But for you sincere learners and listeners, do right by Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. All right? Again, the Passover is a solemn assembly. All right? I believe even the scriptures speak about, you know, how to cook the lamb. It's not, you know, you put some salt, some rosemary. Nah, fuck all that. You know, you cook it. You know, you eat in haste. Let me see. Perfect. Exodus chapter 12, verse 8. Let me start at the top and we'll read through to like 12. I'll start at the top and read through to 14 actually. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month, they shall be taken to them every man a lamb. They shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for a house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish. All right, Salakia had to handle some. I'll read back at 3. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month, they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. If the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish. a male of the first year. Ye shall take it from the sheep or from the goats, and ye shall keep it until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. They shall take it of blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper doorposts of the houses wherein they shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire his head with his legs, and with the purtenance thereof. And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, and that which remaineth of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire. And thus ye shall eat it with your loins girt, and your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hands, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is Yahweh's Passover. Right? So I was going to look up the commentary, but that pretty much is self-explanatory. You eat it quickly. Right? You don't fuck around. I mean, of course, you don't just stuff everything in your mouth so that you choking, but you eat it with a sense of urgency. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both men and beasts. And against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am Yahweh. Right? So there's a lot of bloodshed, a lot of crying, a lot of yelping, a lot of screaming, a lot of death going on that night, right? Around Israel. It wasn't a joyous night. It wasn't a goddamn wedding or some shit, It says, and this shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast to Yahweh throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. Yeah, so if that, Lord willing, you are edified, shalom to the elect.